All right, welcome back to Voluminum. This is episode 24. Finally, finally, it is out, and I'm done with the main storage. Just a heads up, I might sound a little different because my 2-year-old was not very delicate with my headset, and I had to. So I'm using an old one, and the quality might not be as good. Not that it was great in the first place, but yeah, just let you know things might sound a little different. And also, I was gonna put it. I was gonna make it part of this video, the time lapse of all of this, but I decided to just release the time lapse by itself because it was 9 minutes long, and I didn't want half the episode to just be a time lapse. So I decided to release that ahead of this episode, probably a week before the episodes come out now. I think it was on a Sunday. So if you want to see that, it should be popping up somewhere on the screen. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. I might include some clips as well that I didn't put in the time lapse. It just didn't fit right. Those you might find popping up here and there as well that were kind of fun to make, but just little clips. But yeah, basically it is done. The phase 1 is fully complete. The destruction of the end island and building the main storage is completely done. So I even added a little platform down here. I guess I need to make a little adjustment to where this island starts. As you can see, I've already started on phase 2, the terraforming, the building of the island, and it's looking kind of weird right now, but I think it'll turn out good once it's all filled in and the volcano is up in the middle. But if I for some reason die and I made my way, if I wanted to restock for say, or come to the end to get things restocked, I made this little water drop down here for myself, and then I could just run over on foot in case I don't have an elytra or something. Just this is a surefire way to make it to my main storage if I don't have access to an elytra for some reason, but I have inner chests just laying out all over the place, so it should be pretty easy to find one. But anyways, let's go ahead and start from the non-stackable storage on this side here. And this is one by Femi from the Genesis Discord. He came up with this, released a video actually on this a month ago maybe, and just released the Litematic of it, so I'll link that in the description. You go check that out and give his video a like, and he's got some other good stuff as well. But this sorts out a lot of non-stackables. Not everything, but it sorts them all out. I think the only things that can't, or it isn't sorting out now, are like horse armor and horse saddles, but those are, and swords as well. I think you can sort swords out somehow with like a zombie. I'm not sure, but this is really, really good and really reliable. So you notice there's an input here. This is just if I want to input something, but everything is input into this chest here. Everything, stackables, unstackables, shulker boxes, you name it. It's all sorted out in here. And I've shown this off already, so I won't go over it again. But everything is sorted out properly. So you've got all your unstackables going up this water stream, and then the non-stackables coming out here, and the shulker boxes coming out here into this one, yeah. And the shulker boxes come up back into this chest, or these line of chests here. So I won't go over either how this works. He released a good demonstration video on it, and like I said, the Litematic is in there as well. Basically, it's just really reliable, and it sorts out all of these unstackables that you don't want to do manually, that you'll have just laying around in your inventory, maybe from like a dig or an exploration or something like that, where you don't want to, manually sort them out. So you dump them in the chest, and they're sorted out here. Pretty cool. And the things, so it doesn't sort out armor specifically, like specific pieces. And I don't blame him for not doing that either, because it makes it a lot more bulky once you start sorting out every piece by itself. Let me see if I can fly up here. But this is a really smart way to sort out armor altogether. And in this dispenser there is armor stands, and back here we've got arrows. So obviously you'll need an arrow to break the armor stand, and then the armor will be sorted into the proper place. So that's that. That's the non-stackables. I think I have shown all of this before. Basically, have shown it before. We've got our bulk here. I haven't moved everything over. There's still a lot of bulk over at the starting base, but I have moved everything else. And this thing in the bubble column in the middle here, we'll get to in a second. I just want to kind of show off the decoration that I've done so far. I'm proud of it. I'm happy with how it looks. And if you notice my FOV keeps changing, it's gonna keep speeding up, is because along the middle here, all the white carpet is on top of soul soil, and I've got soul speed on these boots, so I can get the things pretty quick. It's great, but it's also kind of annoying sometimes because I'll just be walking like this and then go over something and speeds up a little bit too much. So maybe I'll put it under all 3 lanes eventually, but I like the fact that the sea lanterns give off a lot of light, which is good for spawn proofing. Obviously, we don't want anything to spawn here, even though I've got an end bot loading up our end switch, because I don't want tons of endermen to just be teleporting around here and messing with me. And all this grass is not spawn proof. So while I've been terraforming and placing grass blocks, I've wanted to keep endermen off me, so that bot is there. And I won't go down every lane, but if you want the Litematic of this, I will share it. Let me know. I'll put it in the description if you would like to see it, or copy the layout of blocks. I put a lot of thought into where things go, so I make sure I have everything sort of where it needs to be. The only things that I'm not too happy with that are kind of out of place, I have like paintings over here. Armor stands next to TNT. I mean, I don't really, snow next to ice. That makes sense, but it's kind of with the wood. But it's good for what it is, I think. And like I said, these are 36 block long halls, so there's plenty of more storage on each wing, especially that one. The colored wing over here has some on the top row there. This side is actually all the way filled up, so that's good. This is what I did with the ceiling. Instead of just sea lanterns across the middle, I put crafting tables every so often. Set the stairs. I think it looks okay. And what I'll do with like the main roof in the storage here, I want to dome it out and make it look a little better, to where I'm not seeing all the redstone as much. But I want to wait until I'm done terraforming like the actual island to see how much room I have to work with. And so that'll basically, come at a later date when I'm done with the middle part of the island. And just some storage over here for the more non-stackable stuff. Like I said, armor, horse armor and saddles. And we've got our beds and milk buckets, this and that. And then specific armor pieces. Once they're sorted out, I can just come over here and pop them in. Oh, and before I move on and forget about it, I did make a super smelter here. A really basic super smelter that you'll put your items in here and your fuel in there and let it go. But the one thing I did was change the output. So you can use the detector rails in a specific way where comparators can read them, and then you can make a contraption based off that. But I like this unloader better because I can switch the output on, and it puts these blocks down to where it activates the minecarts, but also activates the unloader. So if they have items in them, they'll come up here and stop and unload them. And this is just a much faster way than using hoppers on the bottom. Hopper minecarts are much faster because then they pick it up, and then these hoppers pick them up and drop them out with these observer clocks. And there's just a super smelter here at the main storage in case I need a bunch of glass smelted or something like that. And I want to put a automatic potion room right here. So I have everything I need basically at the main storage area. This place is huge. So only thing I might not add is like an enchantment table, because I can just pop back up there and go to that main gateway and then over to my villager hall, which is over there. And I've got all the enchantment stuff I need over there for making gear. So, yeah, we've sorted every item in the game except anything in this book. So I've got a little book here, book and quill. I should edit it actually because I need to put spectral arrows, and a few other, like all the different types of arrows, tipped arrows. But I don't think I will sort those out because there's just too many, and like I won't need a specific storage chest for those anyway. So, you know, I'll just leave that be. But yeah, I need to get a rabbit farm going to get enough rabbit's foot to sort it. What else? Poisonous potatoes. I don't have enough of those yet. All the netherite stuff, I don't know if I ever will sort those out because the ones that I get, I'll just keep in my inner chest, basically, and I won't just toss them into a sorting system. As well as the nautilus shells and heart of the seas, conduits, things like that. Dragon heads aren't sorted either. I don't have too many of those. But everything else is sorted. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Let's go down here. We can take a look under the hood. Our overflow, nothing's came through yet. I'm very happy. I've put a bunch of stuff into the input, and it isn't very fast. Like I said before, it sorts, you know, at hopper speed, and that's fine with me. It just sorts everything at hopper speed. They're all normal sorters, so I don't need anything crazy to sort every item in the game. I think the feat itself is good enough for me. And then I've got a little storage bot down here. Now, for now, I'm loading the storage with this bot. However, VK Tech is, when he finds time, going to work on the chunk mod to bring in 112 redstone chunk loading, or it's similar to, I don't know if it's exactly like 112 redstone chunk loading, but it'll bring it into 116. So I'm kind of waiting on that, and then I'll see how it works and, you know, if I'll use it. But I would rather use that over loading it with bots. It's beneficiary to me just because a bot also counts as a player and adds to the mob cap, but it's also like kind of a too easy thing to load chunks with. Just place a bot there. I would rather have to go through some kind of effort to load chunks like a Nether portal loader in the overworld, but in the end there's currently no way to permaload anything without a bot. So if you know, the chunk mod is updated to 116, I'll try it out and see how it goes, and that'll probably be my primary way of loading things if I add it to this world. But that is the main storage. So like I said, if you want to watch the time lapse of all of this happening, I'll put the link in the description and you can go check that out. But let's take our bubble column here up through into the overworld, and that piece of bedrock is the first piece of bedrock I've ever broke on the end portal. It's kind of new for me, but this is great. It just goes right up in it, and then I'm here. Easy peasy. Let's turn the sounds down a little bit. And I restarted the server a while ago, so the mob switch is not on, as per the Enderman over there. So if you take a look around here, things are very different. I've taken not everything out of this place, but just about everything, and put it into the main storage, just so I know where all of my items are. And you might be wondering about the multi-item sorter. This thing is completely empty. I'm not going to reroute anything. This is going to stay as is. It's going to stay a multi-item sorter, as well as the bulk storage we have up here. So let's go up. I know you remember this thing. I built this 2x loader a while ago. A bunch of 2x loaders to store overworld mining blocks. I added some nether as well once I, you know, started to dig in the nether more. I don't think I ever sorted rails ever. This thing's going to also stay, but I probably won't use it ever again because I have another plan in mind, and that may or may not come to fruition soon or not. I'm still kind of bubbling ideas in my head. And all the bulk here is going to stay as well, unless I need it. Like, I have a lot of stone. So all of these chests are full of stone. Just absolutely full. Not all of them. All of those. A couple of these. And then we've got more in here. So I'm not going to drag all those shulker boxes over to the new main storage. I'm just going to leave basically everything here for now. And I'm still going to, my goal still for the world is to fill out those ore banks. So that'll still be happening. But the way that I fill up shulker boxes and store them will be different, because this is going to be retired. And so is the shulker box sorter down here. Let's go to it. The old shulker box sorter that gave me hell for so long. Ow. How did I miss that? This thing here, also not really in use anymore. So that means that for the most part, I want to retire everything here. Kind of except for maybe that bamboo farm and the kelp farm. The kelp block farm. Not the XP furnace array. Yeah, I want to retire the bulk storage system over there, the shulker box sorter down there, the tree farm that we made so long ago. I don't want to mention that. The villager crop farms. Also because I guess lightning struck up here, and I don't think I had enough space between the roof and the villagers on this top level, but they're all gone. They're not here. Oh great. Oh great. Now we've got phantoms to deal with. The bats are burning. The sky rats, as some people call them. So yeah, I want to actually move on. Now that I have the main storage, I feel like I'm in like step 2 of the world. I feel like I've leveled the world up. Like if the world had its own leveling system, I feel like it just leveled up, putting the main storage in the end. And I feel like the scale of everything just got a little bit bigger. The general mob farm, like this cactus, like there's all these farms I've just been using have been starter farms, so I want to go big. I think I'm ready to take everything to the next level. And that may or may not be in the form of an actual base. I have yet to determine if I actually want to do like a base thing, an all-in-one base. I've really kind of been scrapping ideas in my head about what I want to do, where I want to put anything like that. But for now, I do have some overworld project ideas still that I want to do. Like spawn, I want to work on spawn. Let's just fly over there. There's a few things I want to do in spawn I can talk about really quick. So it's pretty blank. But there's a few things I want to add in spawn, and I want to put these in crystals to good use decoratively. I want to put them around, and it's pointing to 0, 0 above that block there. Something I want to make here, and there's something underground that I want to make. And I got to finish laying out beacons, because are these even the proper length? 100 blocks out? I think they are. This one feels like it's way shorter. Maybe it's not. But yeah, I want to finish laying out the beacons in spawn and start removing some blocks here. So this may be a dig project. This iron farm especially needs to go. I've had this thing way too long. This simple little iron farm, even though, I mean, I'm overloaded with iron. Yeah, I mean, it's not even... I'm not even picking it up anymore. I have too much iron. I don't need another iron farm, but I want to make one for the sake of having an iron farm in the world. And I want to get rid of this thing because it's. I built this like day 1, week 1 of the world. So I want to ramp things up. I really do. It's amazing this thing still works so well, though. I mean, honestly, this thing's went through how many updates? I started in 1.15.1. No, I started in pre-1.15. The pre-release of 1.15. And I'm now on 1.16.1. Does my F3 work? There you go. Yeah. And it still works. Flawlessly. I've had to do nothing with the villagers, nothing with the beds. Anything. I mean, and this is the one from TechMan88 that he released forever ago. It still works fine. It isn't the fastest. I think that's why it's not so popular. It's not too fast. It's just a single cell. But it works flawlessly. I mean, these guys are just coming down. It's super satisfying to watch, actually. Alright, while these guys burn, let's hop over to the Nether. Now, this is the portal to spawn. Little skeleton horse over here. How did he even get over here? So yeah, this is kind of the center of where I imagined a Nether hub would be. So the thing is, I don't actually know if I want to put something on top of the Nether here and build around it. Spawn proof it, etc. Or build under the Nether down there, and then have to just remove blocks. Or break a big area of bedrock here and have one in between, a big one in between, which I'm kind of leaning towards that, because that seems like something that would be more convenient to be able to go in and out of the bottom of the Nether and on the roof here where I've got projects. But there's also kind of infrastructure already up here on top as well, so I don't know, I'm really undecided on what I want to do for the hub here in the Nether, and also spawn to an extent. So I'm going to do some thinking on that while we start some other projects that I'm excited to work on. And I realize that I've kind of just rambled this episode after showing off the main storage, but I kind of exerted all of the talkiness out of me while explaining all of that, and there's not too much else to talk about after that. Spent weeks on end doing that, and the reason it took so long, by the way, is because I built it layer by layer and did the filters layer by layer for the items. So there were a lot of items, in fact, that I didn't save in the Litematic entities. So anything in an item frame I didn't have on the Litematic list, and I had to go back to the base or go out and get somewhere for the filter. So that took a little bit longer than planned. So that project is complete for now. We'll add on to it, of course. And Project Veer is now in phase 2, so it's exciting. And like I mentioned earlier, I feel like everything's gone up in the world. The bar is raised. So I need to get a bigger picture hat on and start thinking up some things to do and figure out what exactly I want to do for the hub here, so we can work on something really cool. And same goes for spawn. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. A little bit shorter maybe, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.